Right, let's get started. Let's welcome again to my panel author and broadcaster Christine Hamilton and also broadcaster and journalist Danny Kelly. Right, so just you weren't smiling then and you suddenly smiled. We saw the mask slipped.
The mask slipped for a second, didn't it?
The veneer cracked. The mask slipped,
the insincerity of my fake smiles came through. Yes. What a beautiful day in London, by the way.
What a beautiful day, isn't it?
26, 27 out there, beautiful day.
Yes.
Do you know, just going back to your Meghan Markle thing, it's cruelty to deny a grandparent sight, sound, touch, feel of his grandchildren. It really is. It beggars belief that she's denying him that, and that she's denying her children the right to know their other grandfather.
Well, of course, it's not just her, it's Harry as well.
Yeah, I know.
I
so sad.
Because I'm not quite sure why they wouldn't allow them to get to know their in-laws.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make any sense. Look, I can be angry with my mum and dad and whatever. You can be angry with your parents and be annoyed at what they've done. But for my children, I will make sure that my children get to see him. It's like an ex. You're with an ex. You've split up from them. You don't really like them much. But they have a stake in the child. You want to make sure that the child gets to know their parents or their other part.
I think there's got to be more to the story, because as I understand, the fallout was about him staging paparazzi shots before the wedding in order to get some dough off the UK paparazzi. If that's all he's done, then the reaction from his daughter is just so over the top. It's unreasonable.
Absolutely.
She should allow him. The guy's unwell. He's 80. Unfortunately, he's reaching the latter stage of his life, combined, not necessarily with old age, because I don't think 80's old nowadays, but with his ill health. You know, this is exacerbating things. And for him to potentially go to his grave without reconciling with his daughter, I think it's...
to even be OK to live with that.
But Nana, I tell you what, that tells me about her personality. It tells me about how unforgiving she is as an individual.
And how egocentric she is.
And how pride comes before a fall.
But she might say that you don't know what's gone on.
Well, that's what I said.
Terrible. But, you know, that's why, in her defence, she's not here to defend herself, so those are my thoughts.
We don't know what's gone on, but if she's got any sense of PR, which she has, with all her jams and her donuts and all that sort of thing, she must realise that the PR for her is abysmal.
And I think the reason, and I say
she has no feelings for her father. I mean,
and the thing is, in his piece, he wrote a piece in the Daily Mail today, or a piece about him was in the Daily Mail today, and he kind of comments about, you know, about how lovely and idyllic their life was when they were younger, and what he provided for her, and, you know, how it wasn't a miserable childhood, and it wasn't they weren't poor, and she did have a nice, what would appear to be a nice time. So for it suddenly...
Something else has happened.
Suddenly.
Something else has happened. And also the fact that the Daily Mail or the Mail on Sunday have got an exclusive, of course, that won't help things, because the Mail on Sunday, Harry went to war with the tabloids, of which the Mail on Sunday, or the Mail, its sister paper, was one of them, I think. So for him to give an exclusive to the paper that they considered an enemy, and probably still do consider an enemy, I think then that was a bad decision. If he's trying to reconcile with his daughter, don't go to the enemy.
No, but he says, I'd love her to call on my birthday, but she won't.
Give an interview to the Guardian then, not the Mail.
Well, but that's not really a controversial thing to say, is it? Just to say that you love your daughter and that you'd like them to call, and the only way you can get the message to that person, because they won't answer your calls, is through the newspapers. The one that you choose shouldn't be the reason why someone does it.
But to put it into context, you know, if she is that twisted with how she feels about her own family, you have to allow for that. I agree he should be able to give an interview to the Mail, but if she is so intransigent, then
entrenched in her position.
Correct. Yeah. It's just not worth it.
But why should he, an 80-year-old man reaching what I call the end of the rainbow, why should he have to make allowances for her all the time? Isn't it time for her to reach out? Isn't it time for his son-in-law, who's never even met him, never mind went and did the traditional thing, which people like Harry normally do, is ask his father for her if he can propose to her.
Well, he might have done that, but he's never actually met him.
Well, he's done it on the phone. Well, that's if he's done it.
He's in America. To be fair, Harry's in London. He's in America. He's not going to fly over to Arizona.
Don't be daft.
Harry can fly wherever. They've got private jets. They've got everything.
But not to us.
If it were me, listen, if it were me, and, you know, you're that rich and you're that connected and you want to ask someone's hand in marriage, I think... with respect, you can get on a plane and do that.
The Prince of Wales. He's not the Prince of Wales, is he? But Prince Harry, you think that's possible for him to do that?
Well, of course he can. If he wants to go, he can do whatever he wants.
If he wanted to. They claim that if he had gone to Mexico or wherever he lives, it would have created such a media storm. Well,
I feel so self-conscious now, because I rang Roger up He only lives 20 minutes away.
Your father-in-law?
My father-in-law. I said, Rog, can I ask your daughter to marry me? And he was delighted. I did. But now we're talking about Harry getting on a 10-hour flight.
Well,
I didn't drive 25 minutes.
You didn't even go 25 minutes?
I didn't drive 25 minutes. Well, now I feel...
Well, we don't know whether he actually asked him or
You're
not.
no better than Harry, Danny.
I'm worse than Harry by this logic.
Than Harry.
But the sad thing is... But the bottom line, I mean, the sad thing is, it's the children that I'm...
Yeah.
You know, have whatever arguments you like with your dad and your mum and whoever. That's your argument with them. But the children...
I know.
That's where I think, look... You know,
depriving him.
Don't do that to the kids.
Them.
They will not thank you. I know that. My kids are older now. One of them is older. And if I had denied her the opportunity to be part of her dad's family, we're not together. We all get on quite famously, really. We all get on well because there's no point not being horrible to somebody who you're not with. If you've got children with, you might as well. You know, my ex is one of my best friends. You know, why not be friends with them? But the bottom line is, if I had denied her the opportunity to see her grandparents on his side, she would be furious.
This is not uncommon. There'll be more local domestic issues where dads are denied the opportunity to see their children because there's been such a bitter fallout in the relationship. And it's mostly dads who are denied this. And then all of a sudden, the woman may make up a series of events to prevent him ever seeing the kids. You know,
well, maybe
there are thousands of stories like this.
Maybe they planned it. There's some other reason why this can't happen, and it hasn't happened because of that. But it does look a bit heartless, and I would say that...
I agree.
Just do that little thing for your dad. Say happy birthday to him. Make his day, and your PR will improve.
Exactly.
It really is that simple. I'm telling you that now, Meghan. Do that, and your PR will improve. We will all look differently at that. Because
you think her own self-interest would tell her to do that. Well, there we are.
But then, you know, if someone's entrenched in a position that they believe is right, then it is very difficult to untrench them from it. So that
nasty trait.
And if you're that strong. And
when you're in a hole, keep digging.
Yeah, it's like a mud hole where it sucks you under and you keep going.
Nasty personality trait to be so stubborn.
Well, it's not great, but then you don't know...
She's not here to defend herself, Danny.
And we don't know the full details.